Hello! Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about the times that we switched places.
Hello.
Twice. And got away with it.
Squirrel!
Okay, so the first time was when we were in like 5th grade, and so we were probably like 10 years old, and we had literally just watched The Parent Trap, which is a movie about where like twins switch places. We'd watched it like maybe a couple weeks prior to when this happened, and apparently that was like the only way we would have come. I don't think we would have come up with that if we hadn't seen the movie. Yeah, we saw the movie and we had some kind of epiphany or something, because we're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute! SpongeBob!
We're also identical and could do that. Okay, so what happened on this day was that we had like a track and field like sort of thing. Everyone had to participate, and Bailey and I were not into it. Like the harder parts where it was, yeah, we didn't want to do the harder events, but everyone had to do all of the events. But we did do the events, but we just did like the easier ones, like the pole jump. That was like a foot above the mat. Yeah, and I think it was kind of, they just wanted like everyone to get like into track and field, or just kind of like not feel like it was unobtainable or something, so they made those parts kind of easy. But I think you can kind of see where this is going. So Bailey and I, we didn't want to do the running parts, and Peyton was more of like the sporty one, I guess.
Stop it.
Or not like the sporty one, because we all did kind of like sports, like sports, but like different sports, and she like doing more of like the running stuff. Now, the word hero is a big word.
Oh, bro.
But in this situation, I will accept it. You did come in clutch. And Peyton happened to be called first to do her running events. And like everyone had to do a long running event and a short running event. So everyone had to. And so, but by the time Peyton was done with both of her events, she had used up like a lot of her energy. Well, not all of it, but like I didn't do too bad on Bailey. And then so what we would do is like we would do our easier ones that we were assigned first, like the pole jumping one, and then like throwing the shot put like 5 feet. And then we would all get together at the end of our event that we just did, and then kind of like just mingle. And the only reason this worked is because we all had like the same uniforms for gym class. So we all had like the same shorts and then the same shirt that had like the logo of our school or something on it.
We're sorry, the number...
I do feel like we had different shoes though. Maybe they just didn't notice. They must have been like similar in color or something, or like, so then we would after like meeting together, and then kind of like, so no one would get, I guess, know, then I don't think anyone really cared that much. Then we would like, me and Bailey would go and do either like, one of us would like go and do like Peyton's whatever, one of the easier ones, and then we would also do our own easy ones, like go to discus or whatever. Not to say that they're like super easy, like if that's something that you do, but we didn't try that hard, and I feel like running you do have to try no matter what. And I remember that Peyton did mine after she did hers, so she was already a little bit pooped out because she just ran hers. And so by the time that she finished mine, I remember she was pretty tired. Yeah, and when Peyton ran hers, she like got first place. He was number one.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. He was number one.
It's from SpongeBob. So, which, if I'm being honest, I remember really not wanting to do yours. Aww. Because I was like so tired, and she didn't even like get last in mine. Like she honestly, like she just came towards like the second half of the group, but like if I would have done it, I would have come in complete last. Do you think they were like, did Marie get faster? They're probably like, oh my gosh, has she been practicing? Yeah, but you guys didn't really do that well in my other events, I must say. I think we weren't trying very hard. Yeah, well, I feel like it's important to note that when we ran, we didn't win anything because like we didn't come in like first, second, or third. Yeah, I would have felt bad if we did, because I would have, like now, we wouldn't do it again. Okay, so the next time that we switched it was only like a year later, And we were at like this camp field trip thing where we would do like all sorts of things. We would have like classes about like plants and animals and things and do different activities. Yeah, and I think they even like brought out some animals sometimes for us to see. And we would stay in like cabins with bunk beds and have like campfires at night and stuff.
Let's gather around the campfire and sing our campfire song.
And then during the daytime we would go and like we would go to like lakes and like scoop things up and look at things under microscopes. Not like at the lake though. No. They didn't like make us carry around microscopes everywhere and like look at things at any given moment. No, we would take little sample jars and then like put things in there and then bring it back and look at them under the microscope. And then we also did like obstacle courses and stuff. Or we did obstacle courses. Yeah, and so what we did for this switch was a little bit more elaborate because we all had different clothes on because we were at this like camp thing where we could have our own, it wasn't like a gym class where we had uniforms. We really did go through a lot of trouble for something that we could have just done. It was literally so unnecessary, and I feel like at the time we were like, hee hee hee. But like now, and it wasn't like necessarily hurting anyone except ourselves. Because like we were only doing the things that we wanted to do. And also we were split up for like most of the weekend except for meals, which is when we would switch clothes. Look, we were 11. So that was the time of being weird. And the time of like, oh my gosh, do you hear about Josh and Amy? And just like trivialities of whatever. But at the same time it was a big deal because I wanted 3 chances to go on the obstacle course and best my last time. This was important. Yo, what was the obstacle course even like? Because we never saw it. Well, okay, like most of it was in the woods, and then actually all of it was in the woods, and then you just had to jump over things and like, I don't know, just like run a lot, and then also they had this like really thin log. I think a majority of the kids fell in the water. Did you fall in the water? Yes, and I think it was on your turn actually. Yeah, you took a big spill. Oh, I hope I was okay. So then Bailey wanted to she would go and do the lake thing. And she wanted to do the lake thing and I wanted to go to the marsh thing where we would just have to get like big boots and trudge around in the mud. It's a good one. But we all did the plants and animal thing where we had like the classes about them. Because like for those, we would, everyone on the trip would do those together. Oh my gosh, do you guys remember we would have like a king and queen? Yes. At mealtime? Okay, so basically what the king and queen of the meal was, every time we would have like a breakfast, lunch, or dinner, like whatever meal, the previous king or queen would have to pick the next king and queen, who would, at that meal, they would have to clean up everything. So they'd have to pick up everyone's dishes and throw away whatever they didn't eat, or like throw away napkins, and then bring all the food to the kitchen, like the dirty dishes and stuff. And Marie got picked one time to be the queen of one of the meals. I did by one of my friends, and I remember like afterwards one of my friends like, oh my gosh, you got paired up with so and so, like who was the king, and they're like, what did you talk about? Because this friend that I was like that asked me about it, she had a big crush on him at the time. She's like, oh my gosh, what you guys talking about? I'm like, the thing, we just picked up dishes. And then but then like when the next meal came around, even before that, it was like lunch or dinner before that even happened, Bailey and Peyton were like, do not pick me. They're like, they did not want to be picked to be queen, so I didn't know who to pick. No, because it wasn't the fact that like picking up the dishes wasn't the big deal, but it was like, it was almost like this whole ceremony where they literally had a crown for the king and queen, and they'd be like crown and stuff. And I think we were just like, it was just a little nerve-wracking if you got picked. Anyway, so those were our switching places stories. I feel like they're both relatively harmless. And if for whatever reason the one about the track and field thing with 5th grade were to make us actually unable to graduate from 5th grade, this was all a joke. Okay, bye.